My name is Joy Forbes, Vice President of Planning and Development at NBC Universal and Chair of the Board of Directors of the Los Angeles Conservancy. The Conservancy's Chair Award recognizes extraordinary contributions to LA County's historic environment. The project to earn this honor in 2023 is a testament to historic preservation's ability to bring people together and save historic places important to them and their community. Thanks to the passion and action that took place in a Beverly Grove neighborhood, a quaint bungalow court was saved from sure demolition, restored, and will soon be returned to the housing market. Where there is a will, this project shows there is a way. I'm delighted to recognize the 2023 Chairs Award winner, Edinburgh Bungalow Court.
Edinburgh Bungalow Court. Few things are as unmistakably LA as the ubiquitous bungalow court. Introduced in the early 1900s, bungalow courts were an innovative concept designed to provide simple and functional housing while encouraging a sense of community on a human scale. The design caught on, and bungalow court apartments soon dotted the Los Angeles basin throughout the 20s and 30s.
Ability of people to come out their front doors and be engaged with other people who are their neighbors without having to knock on a door or ring a doorbell is what was so attractive about them in the first place.
Many bungalow court units are also rent stabilized. For LA's notoriously unaffordable housing market, this makes bungalow courts an important part of the city's housing stock. But despite their charm, historic multifamily residential buildings are also increasingly targeted for demolition and redevelopment. The Edinburgh Bungalow Court in Beverly Grove was one such target. Built in 1923 at Edinburgh and Waring Avenues, Edinburgh Bungalow Court was designed in the Spanish colonial revival style. For nearly 100 years, Edinburgh was home to countless residents. In 2015, owners of the charming bungalow court aimed to demolish and replace its rent-stabilized units with a market-rate small-lot subdivision of private homes on the site. Concerned neighbors and community members jumped into action. The Save 750 Edinburgh campaign was born, and a public protest was held. Of the many passionate community members who joined the fight was longtime Conservancy member Jamie Wolf and real estate broker Frank Barbano.
There was an article in the Los Angeles Times which said, basically, beautiful old bungalow court needs savior. And I thought, well, maybe this is something I could help with.
Later that year, then Councilmember Paul Koretz initiated a Historic Cultural Monument, or HCM, nomination for Edinburgh. It is rare for the city to step in like this, and HCM status was key in buying time.
Paul Koretz's office stepped in and helped people, it was a whole neighborhood group, to stand up and say, no, this really deserves preservation.
You know, I was really pleasantly surprised at the level of generosity and care that city people exhibited, which I was completely not expecting.
By the HCM nomination, the owners continued to pursue demolition. Then, in March 2020, just as the owners were securing a demolition permit, an agreement to sell Edinburgh was finally reached. Jamie and Frank teamed up to purchase it and rehabilitate it for housing.
We took possession in the middle of a lockdown.
Bulldozers were at the gate, so to speak. They were stopped by the legal decision.
Technically speaking, it wasn't difficult at all. Typical things need to be replaced, the footings, the roof. Those are usually the first two things we do, the footing and the roof, and then you can take your time in between. The hard part was we bought it right when COVID started, so things were locked down, difficult getting permits, there's no more counter service, for example. And then you did have there's a contingency of the neighborhood. The overwhelming neighborhood wanted to save the property, but there was people that wanted to tear it down and do a small lot subdivision.
But the rehabilitation project persevered through COVID. Using archival photos as their guide and period materials, the Edinburgh Bungalow Court has been brought back to life.
By renovating it the way Jamie and I did, it was very high quality. I mean, you walk in there, it's a little jewel box. You don't need a huge place to enjoy your life. You have outdoor space. People can drive by, see maybe people outside enjoying the outdoors.
We say it all the time, historic buildings do not save themselves.
I think the importance of the advocacy is the realization that you could not do any of this by yourself, really, but you had to have a group, a collection of people who all felt pretty strongly about it and were prepared to go back and again and again and again, because that's what it takes.
Saving Edinburgh Bungalow Court is a preservation success story, thanks to the power of community advocacy, civic leadership, and the courage of 2 individuals who came forward to purchase and rehabilitate it. Edinburgh Bungalow Court is ready to be home sweet home to a whole new generation of Angelenos.